Good morning, sunshines. It is Friday, May 1st, and the first of the month is super exciting because it means that I'm going to pull out yarns for projects that I want to work on this month. I don't have very many in mind, honestly, but I have a couple. I want to make a pair of socks for the tutorials. I need to get that worked on. I want to make, what else do I want to make? A baby blanket. And that's really it as far as like new shiny projects. So I am going to be making hearts for the ICU patients. And it is also less is more May, so I will be going through my closet and updating some clothes. First, I want to, I have a shirt that has a hole in the back collar area, so I'm probably just going to do some major editing to the back of the shirt, period, and make it kind of a backless sort of deal. And I have a bunch of socks that need to be mended. A bunch of socks. So those are on my list for this week for things to do. But let's see what yarn I'm going to use. So this is it. This is my stack of what I'm going to work on this month. This sweater is nearly finished. I have 2 rows left of the body and then approximately 26 rows of ribbing. These socks should be done. My goal is to have the sweater and these socks finished by Sunday. This first sock is on the ribbing. I'm so close to finish with this. What is this? 3 rounds and a bind off to go? No, 4 rounds and a bind off. And the second sock just needs the leg. Tomorrow is Saturday, which means sock day, so that should be finished quickly. A pair of shorty socks for tutorial. 2 things of dishcloth cotton to make baby washcloths. And this to be a baby blanket. Maybe the whole thing, maybe just the center. We'll see how far it takes me. So yeah, not a lot of goals, although I do want to make 25 hearts for the ICU patients, and I'd like to make them within the next week or so. And then I can always make more after if there is still a request for them, which there probably will be, but I'll be working on that. And then it's my birthday month, so I kind of just want to work on my blankets because that's what's bringing me a lot of joy right now. And I don't know, using up scraps. The idea of using up scraps makes me super happy, so it's not official. I'm not officially doing this, but I'm considering starting all the small things significantly early. Like, normally it starts about June 15th. I'm thinking of maybe starting it May 15th. I don't know. What do you think? Start it early? Just keep it normal? Either way, I'll be working on scrappy projects this month. And that also gives me flexibility if I want to work on other things. Maybe I'll look at my Make 9 and start a Make 9 project just cause. Becky of Soprano Knits is hosting Less is More May. And as part of that, she encourages people to look at what they need to mend. Well, Patrick has destroyed this sock. Destroyed it. Look at the heel. Also a mess. And normally I would be like, I'll just throw it away. It's too destroyed to mend. But look at all of this good yarn still. The whole leg is fine. And the foot, these 2 rounds of hexagons are fine. So instead of just throwing out the sock, I am going to rip the yarn and put it into scrappy blankets. Because the yarn is still good. It's a little faded from when I first made these socks, I don't know, 8 years ago or something. But the yarn is still mostly good, except where it's been torn through. Lighting! I just laid this blanket out on my bed. And it goes all the way across. So I'm going to finish the row I'm on, which is over Mia. Not very much to go. And then I will start decreasing on one side and increasing on the other so it could be rectangular. So close to this edge. Good morning, sunshines. It is Saturday, May 2nd, and it's 6:30 in the morning. So I'm awake because my sister's dog started barking at 4:30 in the morning. I'm sure she thought she had a reason, but I did not get up to investigate. I just yelled at her to stop, but then I couldn't go back to sleep. So I am awake, and my plans today include finishing a sock, starting another sock, the second sock of a pair, and getting hopefully the first two socks through the heels because they're tutorial socks, but we shall see. I don't know what the sun situation is supposed to be today. And I also want to use a face mask because my face is not sure what to do about the stress and the weather change. And yeah, I'm going to do a face mask later. So those are my really grand plans, but mostly I'm coming in to tell you about a conversation that Gabriel and I had last night. We were talking because we watched two Frozen movies yesterday. We watched the first and second Frozen, and then Mara went to bed, and it was not quite bedtime. So Gabriel was sitting on the couch, and I didn't want to do anything because there was only like 10 minutes left before bedtime. Like, I didn't want to start a game or anything. So we just started talking, and he started talking about the things that he missed, and I started talking about the things that I missed. And then at the end of our conversation, he was like, "Mom, I'm pretty sure you're the only person who I can talk to who helps me calm down." And I was like, "Oh, I feel every single feel right now." So yeah, I help keep him calm, and I'm gonna start crying. So that was just a really nice talk because this is hard it's hard for everybody, but I think it's really hard for kids right now because adults, we can like really understand things, but he's only 11. And even though he's really, really smart, he's still only 11. And socializing is important. And face-to-face socializing is important. So, yeah, that's where I'm at this morning, just thinking about that.
Did you just tickle me?
I totally did. Follow up on yesterday's plan to use this sock in my scrappy blankets. One full row of the corner to corner blanket is the cuff, one full tier, and then just the beginning of one of these hexagons. Face mask is on, so I am going to continue working on the tutorial knit. I recorded the first part of the tutorial this morning. Now I'm knitting through so I can get to the second part of the tutorial, but it's been cloudy for the past hour. So I'm hoping that the sun is just hiding for a little bit until I get to the part that I need to record again, and then it'll come out for about 5-10 minutes and I can be finished with this part of the tutorial and I can start editing the tutorial for Thursday. That would be ideal. Normally I start my weeks on Monday, but I'm starting my next week tomorrow on Sunday because this week needs to be over. It has been such a long week. So my sister has been sick all week, like violently ill and very loud about it. So all of my auditory space has been invaded all week. and she's finally not being loud starting last night. But today, she went to the hospital to be tested for, well, they ended up testing her for COVID. So they say she just has a virus and it has to run its course. Okay, so that was stressful. Whatever. Yesterday was spent basically, I would say playing phone tag, but that's not correct because I always answered my phone. um, on the phone off and on with the sheriff's department because of fraudulent bank activity. So that was just stress. So yeah, this week I'm ready for it to be over, but it's okay. We're all good. Everything's fine. Today was mostly lovely, other than, dropping off my sister at the hospital and waiting to hear what they said. It was about 70 degrees. So, like, the second really nice day that we've had since social distancing started. I cleaned off my porch a little bit, like, swept up leaves and stuff, and Mara played outside for a little bit with some sidewalk chalk. She was so excited for about half an hour, and then she went back inside. My son weeded some of the flower beds because that's his job, is to keep them weeded, and we have not started working on them at all this spring because it's just been cold and wet. So yeah, stuff got accomplished. And then I did some spinning on my porch. I don't think I said that. I don't know, it's late. It's like a little after 10. I've been up since 4 or 4:30. I don't remember when the dog was barking. A long time ago. So, yeah, that was nice. I went to the grocery store for the first time since social distancing because remember, my last trip to the grocery store was the Friday before shelter in place went into effect. So I hadn't been. Maybe I went once after that, but like during that first week of shelter in place before things got really serious. And I don't understand what is so difficult about the store has a one-way walking system, so just follow the arrows. Like we live in Michigan. So this is not Michigan lefts are a thing. Like you have to go up and then turn to go back. Same concept in the grocery store. If you want to go down an aisle, but the arrow is facing the opposite way, just go down the next aisle and then turn and come back. Because in aisles that are only 6 feet wide, you can't keep 6 feet between people if they have to pass each other in an aisle because someone decides they're going the wrong way. I don't understand. I cannot understand how grown humans don't know how arrows work. Utterly baffled. I will continue to let Patrick do all of the shopping. We just had to go because Amanda had to get things for recovery from being sick all week. So, yeah. I will continue to not do the shopping until things reach a less weird normal. Did I tell you that I started Landline? I started it and I am close to 100 pages into it. There are acknowledgments ending on page 310, so about 300 pages in the book. I'm enjoying it so far. Hopefully, hopefully I'll enjoy the whole thing. I don't know why I thought this was a YA novel. I guess because of the front cover, and then I started reading it, and the main character is not a young adult. So That's fine. I'm really enjoying the style, obviously, since I've read about 100 pages today and I've had a lot going on. So it's really good. I will definitely be looking up this author again once the library opens. Did I tell you guys? I don't think I told you guys. I think I told my knit group last week that I had a dream that the library was open, but by appointment only. And you couldn't go and browse, but you could place things on hold. And then when things came in, you made an appointment and dropped off your old books. There's a conveyor belt at my library that accepts the returns. So when your returns started coming in right before your appointment, they would know you were there, and then they would pre-scan your books that you were picking up and then come out to the vehicle area. There's a circle in front of the library where you can pull around. So you would pull into that area. They would have your books. You would get out of the car, put your ID and your library card like on the hood of the car so they could make sure it was you. Then they would scan your library card, and then they would go back inside. The librarian is they. It's late. I'm sorry. I'm speaking poorly. And then you would collect your books, put them in your car. I wish that was real. I was so disappointed when I woke up and realized that was not actually happening in my life, because this is my last physical library book. I do have a playaway, which I tried to listen today, and I don't know if the problem was my headphones or the playaway. So I have to find a different pair of headphones to try it with. And then I have an audiobook in CD form that Gabriel and I were going to start this past week. We just haven't, because I've been trying to read Sophie's World, like trying to make an effort to read Sophie's World. I'm doing okay. Reading about philosophy is a little bit tricky. I can only handle about a chapter a day. It's fine. That's why I started Landline. So I could read and not have to absorb so much heavy stuff. Okay, I'm babbling. This is a long clip. Not sorry, but kind of a little sorry. We'll see you guys soon.